So yes, it's working today. We got it. We got it. Yay! Today, this is your daily tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries. It is 100% for everybody. So it's a general reading. It's a general energy. How does that work? If you're called to it, the message is for you. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. So, yeah, thank you for jumping on with me today. I'm trying to get my bangs here. I'm trying to find them. I always get lost in the rest of the curls. Anyway, yeah. What's up, guys? I was on yesterday. I was live on my YouTube channel, Astrology Motivation. That's where I post the live daily tarot card readings. Trying to see if daily tarot card readings. And I went live there. I think it was okay. Hi. I think it was okay, but I'm glad to see you guys. Yeah, we had a shortage. We had an outage on Instagram yesterday, Instagram, Facebook. So it is what it is. Is it surprising that it happened in Mercury retrograde? No, but because it happened in this Mercury retrograde 2 days before Pluto goes direct, I can guarantee you it was not just technical issues. It was something investigative. I'm just letting you know. And I don't know that. I don't know that in terms of intel, but I know that in terms of if you look at what's being called out, there was definitely some investigative having to do with look into something, things being looked into, needing to get to the bottom of something kind of energy. And not just we need to get to the, we need to get to the bottom of this technical malfunction. I don't think it was just a technical malfunction. I don't think that at all. And I hope that this is like only the beginning. And I use this as part of my business, but I do hope it's only the beginning of sort of these kind of platforms starting to be looked into. Because as much as they offered us a lot of freedom, I think that they've now started to take a lot of freedoms. And I think, I don't know, I'm just saying that there's a lot that needs to be looked into. From my experience on them and what they allow on here, how they punish people for specific imagery, etc., but then how easy it is for people to steal and falsify and be fraudulent on here, and how they almost make it easy for them to do it. It kind of, it makes me suspicious. It makes me think that they have a lot to work out at the very least in terms of their security systems, in terms of their firewalls, in terms of their policies. And the one thing I don't like about Instagram that I will say I don't experience with Vimeo or YouTube is that both Vimeo and YouTube have a chat or an email address to reach out if you're a creator, if you're a business on their platform. And they have, and you get an immediate response, and it's uncomfortable for me, being, I think, a Gen Xer. Probably it's generational, because I like to talk to somebody, but you never get to talk to anybody, but at least there's immediate communication. But with Instagram, it's so hard to get any kind of communication. I've never talked to I've reported issues, but I've never gotten any responses. I've never had any interactions with them. I do paid promotions here, so I am a business, and I do pay them to service my business through promotions, and yet I still don't get contact, feedback, or responses from them. And it's very uncomfortable, and it's wrong that they don't have that built into their system, some sort of easy contact when things go wrong. There's nothing built in, and that is extremely suspicious to me. It's extremely suspicious. When you go to, under the settings, report a problem, you get taken to their FAQ page or their how-to page. And the how-to page is always instructional based on if you can find the profile that you're reporting. But if you can't, or if you've been intentionally blocked, there is no recourse. There is nothing that you can do. And there's nobody that's willing to listen to you. There's no way to talk to them. There's nothing at all. And that's really bad. I'm not even trying to say it's suspicious. It's bad. It's just wrong. It's incorrect. If you have a platform this big that is making money off of marketing, your people should be able to contact you, right? And reach you and have a number or an email or a chat to be able to communicate with you. And Instagram has nothing, and it needs it. And so I hope that there's some sort of reconstruction with all these stupid additions and these dumbass filters they're adding on to these fucking reels and shit. I wish they would actually take responsibility and grow the fuck up and build in a system that grown-ups use. If there's an emergency, I can chat right away, especially as a business user, right? But anybody should be easy to report a problem. When I have people posting spam in my comments, DM this person for this account, or hey, post it on this. I have so many spammers that are just attached to certain taglines, and they immediately glom on. They have bots that glom on, and they'll leave a comment as soon as I've posted. So I know it's got to be a bot, because no human acts that quickly, right? And ultimately, what is Instagram doing about that? They're doing nothing about it. And it's so hard to remove the comments. You have to know that it's the top 3 little dots, not the bottom 3 little dots, that you have to push to manage comments. And then you can't like report them, block them, and remove the comment at the same time. You have to go back each time uniquely and do one thing at a time. And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you not know what's going on your site, and you make it difficult for people to defend themselves and report other people? There's some major issues with Instagram. I can't speak on Facebook. I just know that Facebook owns Instagram, and there's major fucking issues, and they're not doing shit about it. And I am hoping, but it wasn't just a hope. It was knowing the astrology and intuitively knowing this blackout was not just Mercury retrograde or technical failure. There's something investigative going on, either internally because they're starting to get wise to things, or externally because other departments, maybe governmental departments, are starting to get wise to things. Whatever it is, there is something going on that is not just technical failure. Letting you know. And yeah, I just wish somebody would take some responsibility, because there's too much criminal activity on here. There's too much. And there's no way as a business person to reach out and report it. It happens too slowly. It happens too slowly. You can't defend yourself. Damage is already done before, and nothing. I've never heard from I don't know if anybody works at Instagram, or if it's all just codes and algorithms. Like, I've never actually heard a response from somebody ever. And it's wrong. It's wrong. As soon as you create a platform where you're taking money from somebody, where you're taking somebody's money, you should have a platform built for problems, issues, and customer service. And they have not done that. Like, they don't care. It's just like, give me your money. And yeah. Really creepy, to be totally honest. Really creepy and really disappointing. But that doesn't mean we can't move on. Today, the moon went void, of course, at 4:46 a.m. out here. That was early in the wee hours of the morning, like 1:30 a.m. And then it entered Libra at 8:41 a.m. for us, and the West Coast, that would be 5:41 a.m. And the color of the day is scarlet. Now, remember, we have Pluto going direct at 2:29 p.m. That's 11:29 p.m. tomorrow. And the new moon tomorrow is early in the morning. It's at 4 a.m. over here. So you can either celebrate it before you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning. I'll probably celebrate it before I go to bed tonight because I have the time. Yeah. So this new moon is a really clean slate. And I had said that, I believe it was on Sagittarius's video, specifically. A sequence of cards came out that made me realize this was a huge closing period. This was a huge period that was closing, and it was a big restart. New moons are a new start, but the level of cleansing here was almost like super power wash clean. It was like chemical clean. It was like ridiculous clean. And it's because of that scoop and that sweep of Pluto. And there was some interesting interactions and aspects happening with the South Node too over the past week and a half. So ultimately, like, karma got a deep fucking clean recently. And ultimately, what that means is this new moon, and I let me say this, everybody always goes external when in fact, and yes, of course you can apply astrology to your interactions externally, but it all really is a study of you. That's why it stays geocentric. That's why Earth stays central. It's you. It's the representative of you. So it's really a study. Astrology is really a study of yourself in relation to the planets and then how that behavior impacts others, right? So ultimately, all of this is really happening internally right now. It's a deep internal clean. So I wouldn't be surprised if what you're feeling now is a feeling of I'm over it. A feeling of I'm really ready to let it go. I'm really not even worried about what I was worried about, especially concerning finances, partnerships, relationships, all of those Venetian run things. A real big sweep and cleansing of I'm really over it. Like I'm not afraid of losing this, or I'm not thinking about the person that I was thinking about. It's interesting that Mercury retrograde is happening here. We might get tested by calls from ghosts of the past. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be much of a lure back. You know, this is almost the time when we can stand up on our 2 feet and say, I'm over it. I'm really done. And that's the time when you know you're ready to start over. So this will be a beautiful time to plant seeds for being ready internally to be the partner that you want to be and the partner that you're capable of being, and to draw in the partner that is your equal. All of those things are stuff that you could definitely plant the seeds for, as well as financial prosperity and abundance, planting those seeds, those big wins, that big income, those big opportunities. All of those things you could start planting the seeds for on the new moon. So what I like to do actually is write a check of abundance. I like to basically you take a check and you write it out to yourself, and you can put in a specific amount of money if you want. What I learned to write in was paid in full, and you write paid in full in the numbers square. You write paid in full where you would normally write out the amount, and then you sign it the law of abundance, right? And ultimately you're writing it out to yourself, and then you take that check and you put it away somewhere, and you let it be forgotten about. You just let the universe bring that abundance to you. The most popular example of this manifestation technique is Jim Carrey, who wrote himself out what I think was a $5 million check. And he even left a timeline on it. He said, paid to James Carrey for, and because there's a little for section, for services rendered in performing arts or whatever. And he gave himself 10 years. And it was really uncanny how within that 10-year period, right before that 10-year period was about to expire, was when he signed his first big contract that would have been over $1 million. And that's the most famous example of that kind of check writing manifestation process. But because Venus does rule like big luxury items and financial abundance, it's just a good time right now on this Libra new moon to welcome that in. To welcome that in, and then let it come in whatever way it will come in. You know, it's like, it doesn't have to be a lottery win. It doesn't have to be a specific job. Just let it happen. Allow it. Through allowance, the abundance will come in. So that's what I would suggest on this new moon. A great device or manifestation tool on this new moon would be to remember to do that. That's what I would suggest. Let's get into it. There's a little quote here. Squirrels show us how to plan ahead and organize supplies. And that is why squirrels are very representative of Virgo energy. Virgo energy is that energy. Planning ahead and equal distribution of resources over that period of time and organizing supplies. So, you ready? Let's do this. I wonder what the reading is going to say today, because I never know. What do you have to tell us, God? What do you have to tell us? Turn your back on the bullshit and just create. Don't worry about anybody who's looking at you or care about anything at all. Bottom line is you're focused on creativity. This is the fire. This is the Queen of Wands, who teaches us the most beautiful, sexy, confident way to be is focused on you. Focused on your dreams being manifested. Trusting your passions and moving forward with them. That's the sexiest thing to be. And then we have strength. And strength is looking your fears in the eye. You know, seeing that devil right there and realizing, I have to face the devil in me. I have to face those deep fears. I have to face this. And that's real strength. That's real strength. Then we have, the Emperor. What have you been afraid of as you've been trying to manifest whatever you've been trying to manifest, what you've been working on? What are your real fears? Are you afraid of failure? A lot of people are afraid of failure. That's a big one. Are you afraid of failure? Is that why you never tried, or why you give up so easily, or embarrassment? What is that major fear? Something is getting in your way of actually being able to come through or break through. And then we have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is very guarded. I think in some ways there's definitely some transaction going on that is guarded, you don't really know about, or maybe it's like you don't know the ins and outs of it, you don't know the details, and maybe you don't realize that it's actually happening in your favor. Because that's major arcana. We have the Eight of Swords. Right now, you're feeling or thinking that you have been left behind. But the central energy is actually getting to work, loving your work, focusing on your work, and getting noticed for it. The Seven of Cups is here. It's usually just confusion. Not knowing which to choose, having a lot to choose from, but not being impressed by any. And there we have the Devil. This could be escapism, running to escapism, running into drinking a lot, or whatever kind of is your drug of choice, because that's really the Devil energy. It's almost like you're sinking yourself into this place of stuck or sadness, even though there really wasn't any reason to be, except you were thinking the worst. So what is this? Okay. Thinking the worst, but there's this connection. It's almost like you're thinking the worst. And what I can't help but see this, victory and success. So I'm going to place that right above. And then I see this. I can't. So And it's almost like there's some breakup, there's some network that, what is this? That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. You know what makes sense to me? This feeling, the things that I'm seeing. Yeah, I gotta be discerning. And honestly, what I want to say is the Two of Wands doesn't make much sense. But let's think about this. This is about looking our fears in the eye. This is about realizing what's been holding us back, but realizing there is something on the other side of it, that we have options. We don't have to be afraid. This is the Tower, something shocking or surprising happening to us. A change happening. And this is an abundant change. A beautiful change, a change that brings great happiness. But this is sitting here almost like I'm thinking that I have to do all of this by myself. I think this is a warning. I'm going to say this. I feel like this message is a warning. And because look at what's on the bottom of the deck. Plain and simple, please don't take any big actions today. A sense of, like, fuck it, I'm just going to give up. Screw it, I'm leaving the job. Fuck it, I'm deleting this manuscript because nobody wants it. I posted the fuck it, right? I posted it today, and it's from Grace and Frankie fans. And I love it, and I posted it. I want you to be very wary of that mentality today, the fuck it mentality. I don't want you to give up so quickly today. I want you to have faith today. And in some weird, strange, stupid way, decide maybe things will turn around. Don't get yourself psyched or try to convince yourself something that you will not believe in, right? But open up the conversation with yourself today. Maybe there's stuff going on that I don't understand, and I just have to wait and see. That's what I really want you to get into the mentality of today, right? Because ultimately, I think that there's a lot of fears here because of stuff that you don't understand, because things are foggy and confused and you don't necessarily know what you're looking at. It's like, don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. Don't throw away these checks that you think are garbage because you don't know what they are. Like, hold on for one more day, if I can quote Wilson Phillips as well. Just don't make any permanent choices right now. What I want you to do is think to yourself, listen, I'm not alone here. Somebody's got my back. Let me, before I throw everything out, just take a second. Reflection. Rest, reflect. You're not doing anything but looking over things. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. And it's a good day to do that. Let me get into the moon cards. Well, actually, what is this Tower? What is this Tower? Oh, I think it's a warning. It's essentially what it is saying, if you think that the only way that I can be happy is to do everything by myself, you could bring about your own destruction. Now, we have the Nine of Cups, which is over here being gifted to you. Dreams and wishes coming true. In other words, it's almost like leaving something behind because you just assume that the worst is going to... Not assuming the worst. You're not assuming the worst. You're not assuming the worst. And now the new bottom of the card is this. I'm telling you right now, some of you may have assumed the worst about a relationship or about a love interest. You may have assumed the worst. Don't assume the worst. Don't assume anything. In fact, whatever you can do, take your creative energy, all that energy floating around inside of you, and really just put it into your creativity. That's what you have to put it into today. Don't think about this subject. The subject is driving you crazy. The thought process is bringing you down. right? The confusion is fucking with you. So let go of the confusion. Relinquish the thought. Like, you don't have to think about this 24/7. It's not helping you, right? So stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it. You're going to stop thinking about it, not by thinking about not thinking about it. You're going to stop thinking about it by starting to think of something else. Allowing that creativity to kind of like take over and just obsessively put your mind into that. Instead of this other thing that you think is lost and hopeless, because it's going to put you into a mentality that's actually very devil in nature and going to rob you of something that could have easily been yours if you had just had a little bit more faith. It's like the story of Orpheus. I think that's how you pronounce the name. It was a Greek mythology story about a famous lyrist. He played the lyra, and he was famous and known world over. And he had this beautiful wife that he was very in love with. And then something happened and she died. And he couldn't play because he was so depressed. But he had been so exceptional at his gift that he had played for the gods, and the gods missed his music. So the gods said, what can we do to get you to play again? And he's like, I want my wife back. And so they granted him the right to go into the underworld and bring her soul back and bring her back, and she would be alive again. But there were conditions. And these conditions were simply, you have to show us that you have faith in us. You have to show us that you believe what we're telling you is true. And so you're going to go to this point, you're going to make this exchange, and then you're going to walk back into the land of the living. And you can't turn back. You can't turn back, not even once. You can't turn back. You can only turn and grab her after a certain point when you're in the land of the living. So honestly, his walk was a walk of faith. His walk was a walk of, I'm believing in something even though I can't see it. I'm just trusting these people, right? And ultimately what happened was this. He went all the way. He did everything exactly as they'd instructed, but as he was walking back into the world of the living, right when he was losing faith, he was scared, his worries, his concerns, the manipulation of the underworld was getting to him, the fear, that devil energy was getting to him. And so right before he was about to step into this land of the living, he turned around real quick just to make sure she was with him. And she was. She was there the whole fucking time. And he watched her disappear forever because of his lack of faith. So what I'm asking you today is to do whatever it takes to not turn back around, to not turn around. Do whatever it takes to maintain that faith, because it's going to be very, very difficult right now. This is the test. And it's the ultimate test because Pluto's about to go direct, and you know he's real hard ass that day before. So ultimately, today is a test of faith. And whatever you have to do, just put your mind into creating something. Put your mind into the mindset of the possible. That's what you want to put your mindset into, because it's going to be so easy for you to want to give up today. And that's the devil's temptation. Remember, Pluto cannot destroy what is strong in faith. It can only destroy what is weak and not connected to God. So ultimately, what you're going to have to do is work really hard on your faith today. You're going to want to just throw the towel in because you're confused about something, because you don't know everything, because you want, and the only time you're confused when you don't know everything is when you want control over everything. Right? When it's not enough to just be okay with what you have, what's in front of you and where you are. And I don't need to know everything. I just know my part. I just know what I can do, and keep doing it. And the confusion is going to clear, and the issues are going to clear. It's okay. Everything is going to be cool. Everything is going to be awesome. Keep on rolling with those punches. Don't let it slow you down. Don't take it personally, and continue strong in your faith. That's the secret to today. Okay, wow, a lot flipped over. Not really surprised because there's all this moon energy floating around. What do you need to release? Fear. I'll answer the question for you. Balance spirituality and practicality. You are manifesting something into the real, true world. You have to have faith. Meditate and contemplate. So we have the full moon in Pisces plus the new moon in Pisces. That's mystery, right? That's the realm of mysteries, the realm of dreams. Something is coming into fruition. Something is coming in, being manifested into reality. Meditate and contemplate is constructive. It's calming. It's helping you reconnect to the divine. And then we have faith in your dreams. You don't know how close you are. You really don't. And then we have wait. A new start is coming. And this was hidden. A new start is coming. And then in the future, prosperity lies ahead. Thank you for clarifying that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Space clearing. Space clearing. What is this? Getting rid of stuff. Just getting rid of fear. Getting rid of what you do to, like, I don't know, maybe I need to stop eating junk food. Space clearing, getting rid of whatever is making you unhealthy. I know. So what's the difference between just don't throw something away? No, this is allowing things to clear, allowing things to get out of your way, allowing it, in other words, letting it go, letting go the fear and concern they're causing you. That's what this is. And then don't compromise. Keep those standards high. Keep those standards high. Don't think that you have to relinquish or come down or maybe I'm not worth this. I'll just ask for this. Bullshit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stand your ground. What I just say. Stand your ground. And then mental conflict is here. It's hard. Not going to be easy to discern today. Stand your ground. Meditate and contemplate will help with mental conflict, and so will stand your ground, literally earthing, will really help you as well. It will help with all that internal strife, which is what the Seven of Cups reminds me of. There's just too much confusion. So how about this? Let your brain have a rest. Let your brain just do whatever you can to slow it down and to relieve it of its stress. Breathe through it. Meditation is so essential right now. For me, at least, it's a device that works for me. Don't give up. Don't give up. Never-ending story. There's been a cycle that's keeping on circling. Observer. Okay, so this has to do with something karmic. Something karmic, something that's kept happening over and over and over again. And then we have observer. Look around you, actually looking and seeing the world around you outside of your brain, getting out of your brain right now. Asking why, looking for answers, looking for solutions, and then here you are in the here and now, being right here, right now. Finding yourself right here, right now. And look, you're at a crossroads. But don't choose either. Don't choose the past. Don't choose the future. Choose the present moment. That's going to clarify things for you. Because remember, even the direction that you think you want to go is based on the pain and the running away from of where you came from. So in other words, in a lot of our cases, the road that we're on is actually the same road that we've been on. You want to change in direction, you have to let go of your expectations. You have to let go of your past traumas. You have to be right here in this current moment, right now, present, to see clearly where you have to go next. Because right now, it's almost like you think there's not even a door there, but there is. But there is. It reminds me of that scene from Labyrinth where like she's like there's not even a, she's like in the maze, and she's like, this just keeps going around and around, there's nothing there, and the little worm guy is like, it's right across from you, it's right there. And what he says is, you just step right through. You have to learn how to see it differently. And that could be, learn how to see it. If you can't see it differently, trust somebody else's eyes, right? Ask somebody else, what options do I have? You're not alone. Don't isolate yourself. Accept somebody else's knowledge or help and ask for it if you need it. As I'm saying this, there is something a little nefarious happening here. 6 has come out. Which, I mean, this card is about the siren call. Somebody, like, kind of like doing the sleight of hand on you. Somebody's drawing your attention away from something as somebody else comes behind you and steals what's important to you. It's like a scam. But honestly, it was in reverse. Which means starting to see what has been draining you versus starting to see clearly what has been draining you, or something now coming clear. Something becoming very clear that was hidden. Maybe hurtful, harmful activity coming clear when that was hidden. Okay? Now that could be ways that you're hurting yourself too. It's not just necessarily people doing damage to you on the outside. This could be internal as well. Like something all of a sudden breaking or hurting inside your body. And you know what? You've been constantly eating something that's making you sick and you didn't realize it. Or something like that. It's like now you're understanding, it's coming to the surface where the illness was, where the sickness was. Leadership. Set your goals. This is in the past. So there's something here in the past where this was ego, this was lack of self-esteem, this was arrogance, this is insecurities piling on top of each other to hide the fact that you were insecure and you really didn't deserve what you wanted, or the energy of somebody who was very arrogant, was leading by not through competence, but through arrogance. That's the kind of energy. Like a bad leader, definitely. This is the example. That's the energy of somebody who wanted to lead just because they wanted the glamour that went along with it, or they felt like, if I become a leader, I'll be safe. But that's not the way to become a leader. That's not what a leader is. And then we have Dolphin. Don't worry, be happy. You were miserable. This is the sense of not you or whatever. You could use you as a whatever. This is a sense of, it wasn't fun. You could tell this mentality. You could tell this person wasn't real, wasn't sincere. It's like, because they were miserable all the time. And it's because they were putting on a false face. This is in the past. It's all coming in the past. All of this. Each one of these cards is coming in the past. Children, know that your children are protected. And this is in reverse. So I think whatever you were working on or whatever you cared about, it's like it was almost like everything was sick and unhealthy and miserable. This is all in the past, though. That's what's good about it. All in the past. Could be bringing yourself down. And now what do we have in the future? I feel nurtured. This could be what you were exposed to as a child, right? I am royalty. This is in completely opposite. It's almost like the rebirth of the sense of self, of feeling, no, but I am special and I deserve to be taken care of well. And now I'm nurturing, or maybe you treating your children a lot different than you were treated as a child. That kind of coming full circle, curing the karma, healing the karma, that kind of energy. And apply that energy to how it impacts your life, but there's definitely something with children here, and it's very different. The past is so different than the future. It's crazy. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. I think that's a statement about this reading. This reading is definitely got the divine talking directly to me and then you through me. It's kind of like that's the statement. Maybe it might be a little private statement. Oh, this came out. No, I don't think this is. Angelite, spiritual or religious community. Join with like-minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth. Now this is finding your tribe. It's not necessarily join a whatever. No, it's not about religion. Oh, thank you. So it's not about religious in particular. It's not about religious. It's about finding your tribe, finding the right people to be around, and those standards being really, really high, not just low-hanging fruit, picking them and being desperate, right? And then we have heightened intuition. Be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it is trustworthy. And then we have divine life purpose. Trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. Aquamarine. We have Moonstone, Aquamarine. Trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to life fulfillment. Be here in the present moment and you will see those signs. Be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it is trustworthy. Okay? All right. Somebody is blasting their music and it's really irritating. We have truth. The best way through the current situation is just speak your truth. Contrary to what you may think, no one will hurt if you express exactly how you feel. Compassion. When you show greater compassion toward yourself, the universe automatically responds by showering you with greater blessings. So treat yourself how you want others to treat you. Harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. Achievement. Take a little time to reflect on what you have achieved to date. it is often easy to forget where you started from and how far you've come. Honor and be grateful for this extraordinary journey that is your life. It's good to remember how far you've come. Plain and simple. Middle path. Embrace both sides. The middle path is the road to a balanced and more peaceful life. And what did I say? That's the middle path. It's not the past, and it's not whatever you've expected from the future. Be here right now. Middle path. There's always infinite number of opportunities, options, not just the ones you think you're stuck in. And being present in this moment is going to make it clear to you. Creative potential. You are by nature infinitely creative. Life is a sea of creative potential just waiting to be expressed through you. You are free to express all your heart's desires. There you go. I don't know. Mine is normal on my side. I haven't gotten any warnings or notifications or anything like that. I don't know what's going on your side, but I hope it all works out. Could be. I don't know. I don't know, sweetheart. You were thrown off live twice. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on because I haven't gotten any like blurps or interruptions on my end. I don't know if it could be connectivity, it could be service, it could be a lot of things, but I don't know. And you might want to complain, but I don't know if it's a service issue or what. I don't know. Nothing has gone wrong on this end is all I can guarantee you. Anyway, I want to say I love you guys and thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Mercury retrograde affects technology. It does. It was. And you were thrown off too, okay? Okay. Yeah, watch the rest of your service for the rest of the day. Also watch your Instagram for the rest of the day and see. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for being on here with me. Hopefully I'll be able to download this easily. If not, I'll just do what I've been doing. I'll get through. Scorpio, you're going to want to watch this video. This is the happiest Scorpio reading I think I've ever read. Major fucking breakthroughs. I'm just saying. It was crazy. Everybody was breakthrough last night. It's something about this quadrant of the zodiac. It's just really like something's cracking open here. And I think it's the retrogrades. Why do I think that? Because it's all happening in Libra season. Pluto is going to direct. That will affect Scorpio big time. Saturn goes direct on the 10th or 11th, kind of in between those days. And then Jupiter and Mercury go direct on the 18th. So there's a hell of a lot of directness, things being put back together, and the shifts actually shifting into place and coming out so we can see them instead of just being these things in the background. We're like, please let the other shoe fall. It's all clicking in. And ultimately, that's happening right now. That's happening in Libra season. So these are big openings right now. Check out those videos. They were really powerful. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully here. If not here, then on Astrology Motivation, go over and subscribe if you haven't, so you'll get the notification if I have to go live over there. All right? I'll see you guys. Bye.